Okay, my Hogwarts house, I've given this a lot of thought because I'm pretty serious about this. I get really frustrated with the Pottermore quiz because I took it once, actually on Pottermore, and then I took another one at that quiz, the one that you linked, and both times it got me wrong, but in like an understandable way. Now I would say that in reality I'm a Gryffindor, and I think this is definitely true. I'm a sort of Neville Longbottom style Gryffindor in that I'm not always as brave as I could be, but I am when it counts, and I'll stand up for the people I care about. But when I took the Pottermore quiz the first time, it put me in Ravenclaw, which I guess I can understand because I am a pretty intellectually based person. But the thing is, I don't do information for the sake of information. I'm not the sort of person who enjoys reading journals full of essays or writing papers for a symposium. I can do it, and I'm often amused by my own ideas, but I don't really enjoy it in a Ravenclaw way, I think. And then when I took the test as linked, it put me in Hufflepuff, which kind of made me laugh because I'm actually not a very hard worker, but I think I am to some extent putting a very hard line on myself because my parents and my brother have very Hufflepuff attitudes, so I think because I was raised with them, I am holding myself to a higher standard than is average. So while I can be hardworking and loyal, definitely, I kind of don't care if I am. It's just something I do, and if other people do, that's cool, but it's not my main draw. With Gryffindor, I mean, I am extremely emotion-ruled in decisions, which is arguably kind of the weakness of the Gryffindor, but it seems to be a thing that is a very, very central part of my personality, that I can be logical, but there's always an emotion wrapped around the logic and holding it hostage. So that's why I'm a Gryffindor. Okay, and the last question that you asked was if I have any poetry memorized, which is funny because I was in this Shakespeare class and we had to memorize sonnets to recite basically whenever the teacher asked us to. And I still remember my sonnet, and I'll do it in a second, I guess. So it was for an assignment, which, you know. But I do enjoy that I know it because you can use it quite a bit. And it was funny because we had to repeat it so often in class, and the teacher would ask us to throw emotion behind it. So I often used mine kind of like as an amusing aside, like, well, we were supposed to act out what was happening in mine, and mine is a love-focused one. So when I was asked to direct it to a classmate, I would basically just act like I was flirting with them pretty hardcore. So that was pretty funny for me because it's not really who I am, but I mean, it was kind of guaranteed by the piece. So here, I'll just real quick, I'll do the sonnet I had to memorize because why not? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair some chance declines, by choice or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So I mean, yeah, it's like the most well-known sonnet in the world, but it was the one I picked out of the hat, somehow I know it. Okay, well, I guess I get to ask questions now. One thing I would like to know is if there is a song or a singer who, when you hear them, you just feel the music inside your bones, that it influences you so strongly that it just shudders throughout your entire body. Also, I would like to know, what food do you enjoy the most because it reminds you of a person or place? And lastly, what is the best documentary you've ever seen? Why did you see it? What did you hope to get out of it, and would you recommend it to other people, and why?